Kimba.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Welcome.
Sorry, I was searching my email everywhere for this link, girl, and then I was clicking on the right. Anyway, I found it. It came from Leap directly, so it had hit my other box.
No worries. I'm glad you were able to get in. Sorry about the technical difficulties.
All good, all good.
Let's give everyone a little bit more time to get logged on here for our attendees. But while we do, for the guests that are already joining us, if you want to go ahead and click on that chat box and let me and Kimba know what state you're joining in from. It kind of is a fun topic to start us off. I'd like to know, where everyone's coming, where everyone's joining us.
Yeah, and especially, oh, nice. We had some people in from Massachusetts, California, great for sun, right? I just recently did a solar deal in California. And the offset and the savings that the homeowners see in California, just because their utility cost is so high, is extremely amazing. So that's good. We got a Pennsylvania. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for joining. Yes, this is going to be, and thank you for putting together this slideshow. This is great.
Of course.
Very cute.
All right. Well, good afternoon. My name is Madeline. I'm going to be your host today. Today's presentation is a solar strategy to cultivate your business. The topic of conversation is the benefits of adding solar to your business inventory. I'm interested to know how many of you already use solar in your business. I'm going to go ahead and launch a poll. If you would not mind just letting us know, do you already have solar installation? Are you thinking of adding it? Are you wanting to add it? Or do you still need a little bit more information to maybe convince yourselves, to convince your business to add it? So it looks like most of us want some more information on it, which is perfect. I'm glad you joined us today. Kimba's definitely going to give us that information. Mm-hmm. A few of us are in the process of adding it, which is great. And then there's one or two of you who already have it, which is great because Kimba can help you learn how to use that even more to your benefit.
Hopefully, yes.
Perfect. All right. So today I want to introduce you to our speaker, Kimba. Kimba is the owner of RKG Roofing and Solar out of Fort Worth, Texas. She is a founder and owner of a lifestyle business consulting agency, CEOAF. Kimba also holds a board position for a multi-million-dollar marketing company backed by private equity and was featured in Yahoo Finance for being one of the first women to hold this role. She is a certified NLP practitioner and a yoga instructor. She is a wife, a mother to 3 who enjoys her hot tub and wakeboarding in her fun time. Please welcome Kimba with me.
Oh, thank you so much. That was wonderful. I appreciate being here, Madeline, and I'm excited to talk about this. I think that solar is a super sexy topic, so I'm very excited to be speaking with everybody about it today. To give you guys just a little bit into my solar background, like many of you here, I'm super new to it. And that's why I like coming and talking about it with people, because this integration into my own company has been something that we just started doing about 8 months ago. So it's still super fresh and new for me. And I'm excited to be here and just kind of be talking to you guys about why I did it. I'm a very transparent, honest person. Feel free to answer any questions, maybe even some of the harder questions that you have. I never mind sharing my open, transparent opinion and helping any of you guys, because it sounds like a lot of, well, guys and gals on here are still trying to make the decision, is it good for my business to go solar? So I'm just excited to be here and to be sharing with y'all about why I did. And Madeline, am I working the slideshow or are you, girl? Oh, perfect.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
So the slides are, that was pretty much the rest of the slideshow. I thought that we would just have you do you can just perfect. Talk.
Yeah, okay, yep, that's absolutely perfect. So I will start with the benefits that I see from the company. And also, if y'all could let us know in the chat, how many of you guys are currently own a roofing company specifically? and are looking to add solar to your roofing company specifically. One of the first things that, well, I guess I'll share with you guys a little bit more about how I got plugged into solar. So we're roofing, perfect. So I am plugged in with a group, Storm Ventures Group. Those of you guys in the roofing industry may be familiar with Storm Ventures Group, SVG. They host When the Storm, which we just had about a month ago. And at that conference, I won Female of the Industry for roofing, which was a big honor for me. But I have gotten really close with that network of people over the last 5 or 6 years, just because their training platform was some of the education that I used to launch me into the business and into the industry. And I'm just doing what we do as entrepreneurs, built those relationships along the way. So SVG ended up with they own a marketing company as well. So they'll do some training and video content for outside businesses that come in and help them formulate out their own training programs. So in doing this, a solar company came into their office. Long story short, Anthony Domenico, the CEO of Storm Ventures Group, heard how well that roofing and solar industries meet. So he says that he does window sidings and gutters with the benefit. Yeah, so it's really kind of the same thing when we get to that financing. So thank you for sharing that, because that's what I wanted to know, is when we were talking adders. But what Anthony noticed is how well that our industries start to blend because of the add-on financing. So Anthony is a business guy. Solar for him is just, in all transparency, not really about the environment or green energy or anything like that. It was a strict business move around the financing. So we have window contractors on here, gutter contractors, roofing contractors. I'm not sure if any of you guys in here do HVAC, but another big one. And so anything that can make the home energy efficient, from LED lights to insulation to garage doors to the roof to a new AC, anything that makes the home more energy efficient can be rolled in and financed into the solar loan. The solar financing has extremely low interest rates, right, at 1.49%, extremely low interest rates. And it also comes with this amazing tax credit, at least through the end of this year. We don't know if it'll be extended, but through the end of this year, 26% tax credits for not only their solar system, but anything that they roll into the solar, okay? So I am in DFW. For many of you that are in the roofing industry are probably familiar with the problem that my market has, which is a deductible issue, right? We don't have a lot of regulation in our industry. So you have these free roof, pick a color kind of salespeople that go around and mislead homeowners and get them to do illegal things and all that kind of stuff. Looking into jellyfish lining. So they're doing all these things. So Anthony first presented solar to me as the financing option and a solution for being able to roll in the cost of a retail roof or the cost of the deductible for the insurance claim, being a solution that was very important to my market. So he flies down to Texas from Arizona, calls me, says, "Hey, Kimba, I'm in town. I want to come by and say hi." And I said, "You're not coming by to say hi, man. You're coming by to tell me about your solar thing that you're doing now. And I'm here for it," is the truth, because if you're doing it, I at least need to know what's going on. And that's what I want to share with you guys. Now, adding solar may or may not be for your business. That's definitely for you to decide. So today's goal is just to kind of give you a little picture on why you are starting to see hundreds of roofing contractors flood into solar. And I'm going to share with you all the reason why I partnered with SVG. I don't want it to be an SVG pitch fest. I'm not saying they're for everybody, but my personal reasons why I went that direction was because I don't know anything about solar. And what they're doing over there is going to be sales support for roofers that don't know how to sell solar yet, as long as they get you partnerships, you plug into partnerships with multiple different EPC partners. So if you're going to add solar to your business, you make a relationship with an EPC partner. And for you contractors out there, think about them as your subcontractor. They're going to fulfill the work that you sell. Now, the nice thing about EPC partners in solar is that they do everything. If you choose to just be a sales organization for solar, that's what I chose to do. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not have the capacity at this time frame to learn everything that there is to know. To be able to catch what I'm going to call the solar train to come up over the next 5 years, I've been failing forward with my company for 6 years, and I didn't want to do that this time. I wanted to join a team, know that we could make money on this team, and everybody be responding to customers' demands in a high quality way. I just wanted to be able to partner with people and skip the learning curve. And that's why I chose to partner with an EPC partner instead of trying to do any kind of in-house installs, carry my own warranties, figure out my own panels and which ones I should be using, and then cash flowing out those projects. So for contractors, the cash flow aspect of this is something that I want you to really, really, really focus on when thinking about, I'm going to be honest with you, man, I would have to Google what EPC, I don't even remember, electric something, but essentially they do everything, okay? So the EPC partners are the installs, they pull the permits, they carry the warranty. So like Titan, I'm working with KO Solar here out of DFW. It's crazy that I don't remember what the acronym stands for, but pretty much your turnkey solution. So you're going to sign the solar deal, you're going to contract it on, so yes, there are, so they said, are there any EPC partners? There we go. Engineering, procurement, and construction. Boom. That's what EPC partner stands for. So they're handling the engineering, getting the panels, right? Where it's sourcing the panels and then putting the panels on the roof. So that's exactly what that means. Now the EPC partners with SVG is a national brand. So when you plug in to SVG Solar, you get access to EPC partners across the entire country. I can sell solar in 42 states. Sorry, I'm trying to watch the, so David said that's what he was hoping to do. So for me, that's the move to skip the learning curve. And now you just like subcontractors, you have to find the ones that you like and want to partner with. You have to decide who's the best for your market, which market you're going to be selling in. And that's honestly what I've spent the last 8 months doing. For me, I was pushing some deals through Titan as my EPC partner. I shared with y'all that I did a deal in California. I did run that deal through Titan. That deal went great. My experience with Titan in my home market of Dallas-Fort Worth personally was just, and not that there's anything wrong with them. I don't ever like to speak badly about a company, but it wasn't aligning with my company model here in the aspect of they're a really large company. And I was looking for something that was a little bit, you can partner with who I'm partnered with, David. I'll definitely, anybody that wants information on this, I am going to get my contact information at the end of this. And I can introduce you to the same people that I'm working with, and you can get on the same team that I'm on. Honestly, it's great. We're crushing it. So I wouldn't be here talking about it if it wasn't going really well. So I'm definitely willing to hook you guys up with all of that to anybody that showed up to the webinar today for sure. Now, for my own home market, I prefer to go with a company that's a little bit smaller, a local, little bit smaller company, because the customer experience for me matches what my own brand gives our customers, right? So I just didn't want to work with a huge company like Titan. I wanted the more boutique feel for the customer experience, and I partnered with a local EPC partner that was a really great solution for that in my own market, and they're crushing it. Permits are going fast. Customer communication has been awesome, right? And so those are kind of the things that you want to look for in your EPC partner is how fast are they going to get the glass on the roof? And then are they going to have really great communication between you and your customer? Because as long as those two things are there, right? As long as they meet your own company's core values, understanding that you are tying your brand to their brand, just like you do your roofers, just like you do your subcontractors, who you send to that homeowner's house reflects on you. So you just have to make sure that you find an EPC partner that works really great with that. Now, for anybody that wants to do any type of digital marketing and be able to generate leads throughout the entire country and close deals, one of my favorite things about solar is I can literally use my laptop and I can close deals in 42 states, anywhere I want to be. My second solar deal, I was drinking a pina colada, sitting at the pool at the Mauna Lucia Hotel in Arizona, and I'm on Zoom and I'm just signing solar deals with people because you can do it virtually. So there's not a roof to climb. You know, I can do the whole appointment virtually. It's a little bit shorter job cycle most of the time. So I'm really, really, really loving that. Okay, so Jason says, what is the profit margin? What is the profit margin per solar deal? So I'm going to jump into money, but I don't want to lose the things that we've talked about. So let's go back to adders really quick. Okay, adders, we can roll in anything energy efficient into the loan at 1.49% with a 26% tax credit back. on that real quick, my last solar deal that I just sold, that the glass went on the roof last week. I'm going to do some quick fun math with y'all, okay? She paid $34,000 for her solar system. She got a $9,000 tax credit. She got $28,000 worth of equity in her home. 28 plus 7 is 34, okay? Or I'm sorry, 38, right? So 37. So she spent $34,000 on her solar system, and between the equity that she got and her tax credit, she was $3,000 in profit. Plus, she never has that $178 a month utility expense again, because her solar is offsetting it 100%. So one of the first things that you have to know about solar is that for a lot of people, it's not about monthly savings. It's not about the $15 a month that they can save, or in California, hell, those people, I saved them $150. Their solar payment was $150 less a month than their utility bill was, right? So that's always really cool to see that. Now in Texas, we don't always have that large of an offset because we're paying 13 cents per kilowatt, to where in California, they're paying closer to like 23 up to 28 cents per kilowatt. So their offset for the cost of the solar panels is a lot different than we see in Texas. So you want to kind of pay attention to what is your current utility cost in your market, because that is going to depend on the monthly savings aspect of it. But the truth is, energy escalation cost is going up 4 to 8% every single year. And that increase is going to continue to hit us, right? If you're going to continue to rent your electricity from the utility company, you're going to incur energy escalation cost. And so it's not about the monthly savings today. It's about being able to lock in a price. It's the same reason why I bought my home and we don't continue to lease forever, because the landlord's going to come back and say, well, if you want to stay in this house next year, you owe me 500 more bucks. It is what it is. But when I lock in a 30-year mortgage, I know what my monthly expenses are on that money. And that's how a lot of Americans are able to wrap their mind around solar, is they start to understand, oh, the utility is going to raise my rates. Like, I have to have electricity. The utility company is going to raise my rates 4 to 8% per year forever. So if I can get a bill swap right now, at least the money that I'm paying every month is not just going to the utility company. It's going towards something that I own. It's going towards something that puts equity back into my home, something that makes me not dependent on the grid, right? Texas, we had that big freeze last year. So people are kind of worried about our utility infrastructure, with good right. And so that's given a lot of people a sense of security, but it's not necessarily about the $5 or $10 that they save. It's a longer term financial play for them. And it's good to be able to wrap your own mind around that so that you can help the customer in their own different, unique experience. Because for some people that have a really high tax liability, that tax credit is huge. And then for some people, maybe they're elderly, they don't even pay taxes. That's not a benefit to them at all, right? So there's not just one benefit to solar for a customer, there's multiple of them. And I'm a big fan of figuring out what's important to my customer, what their unique needs are. And then just like we do in roofing and general contracting at all, right? We figure out what our customers' problems are and then we solve them. That's what we do. And we're doing the exact same thing in solar. Now, let's flip over to making money for the customer. For the company, right? So when you join an EPC partner, you're going to be given what's called a red line. And to bridge together solar lingo and contractor lingo, because all y'all are contractors on here, we're going to call this your job cost. Okay. So it's when the subcontractor gives you a price that says, hey man, I'm going to charge you 10 grand to do this roof. You know that your job cost is $10,000. So that's what your red line is going to be in solar. Your red line is going to be the cost of the panels, the cost of the construction, the cost of the permitting, and the fees. Now, your red line is per kilowatt, and you get, it just depends who you plug in with, okay? So if you went straight to Titan, they're gonna give you like a 2.4 red line. If you go to SVG, they also start you off at a 2.4 red line, and that's essentially $2.40 per kilowatt. So anything that you sell the solar deal over your red line is gonna be profit to the company. If you have sales reps, that's what you would profit them out. But so if I sold a deal at a 2.4 red line and I sold it for 3.0, which is a common thing to sell it for, it's a real good medium, it's not too high, it's not too low, 3.0, we're making $600 per kilowatt. If our average system cost is 10 kilowatts, then we would make which it is, hey, your average American single family 25 square foot home, right? About a 10 kilowatt system. So you're gonna be making about $6,000 in profit on that. Now, So that's what the money looks like. Now, the important thing to understand there, guys, is when you're partnered with an EPC partner, you're not spending a quarter to make a dollar. We're not spending a dime to make a dollar, okay? You are the sales organization. There is no cash flow on this. That has been my favorite part of solar because like I said, I promised starting this off, I am a transparent person. In an insurance restoration and general contracting in general, there are black swans that happen to medium to small size companies that cause cash flow issues. That's very normal. It's why many of us establish lines of credit. It's why we have different financing partners. It's why we have to really watch our numbers, because the truth is sometimes people just don't pay the invoice, or sometimes the insurance companies hold on to money for too long, or whatever the case is, right? It happens. So when I sell a solar deal, I know that when my company gets paid, that is pure profit. Okay. At that point, the only thing that I have to do is pay off the rep on their percentage of the profit, but I'm not floating the labor cost of the roof. I'm not floating the cost of the shingles or the windows or the ACs, right? The EPC partner is just going to pay us, and we're just getting paid in profit. So I call it a cash flow shot to the company. Yeah, of course, Larissa. And I call that the cash flow shot into the company, because if you had $6,000 in profit and you went out and you sold 2 of those deals, that's $12,000 in profit. You're talking $46,000 a month. That covers my company's whole overhead, right? And then anything that, like, everybody in the office's salaries and all the things. So anything that we make on top of that is profit to the company. It actually makes my roofing deals more profitable because my overhead for my roofing is being covered by these couple solar deals that I'm pumping through my company. So the truth is, guys, this is an easy plug and play. So don't freak yourself out. And if you are freaked out at all, just do what I did and partner with SVG. I'm going to back up a small hair. When Anthony first came to the office, remember I told him, you're not here just to say hi to me. I know I'm cool. Thanks. But you didn't come to Dallas to kick it with me at my office. You're here for solar. And so the first time that I looked at a solar proposal was actually on my own home. So I actually just got home to do this webinar, and I bought my dream house last year, completely renovated it, right? So I had those little fuzzy feelings that you have as a homeowner where you're like, I just love my home, man. I just love my home. And that's how homeowners feel whenever we're showing them their solar proposal, right? They're in love with their home. It's their biggest investment. It's just something that's very important to them. And I had the unique experience of my first solar proposal Anthony did on my own home. So that was really fun for me to see it from a homeowner's perspective and really be able to understand the benefits of going solar, not as a sales rep, not as a company owner, but as the homeowner myself. And it made a ton of sense. Even though my home can only get to 86% offset, there is a ton of benefits for me going solar, and I still will, even if I can only get somebody to 50 to 60% offset, I will still show them their solar proposal, because who am I to tell them what's right or wrong for them? It's our job to show them the benefits of solar and for them to be able to make the best decision for their home. And so I always do that. And I always tell people, I'm going to show you exactly what your solar looks like on your home, and you either want it or you don't want it. Now, plugging in through SVG, here's what you have to understand. If you're going to plug in through it, if you're going to add solar to your company and you're going to try to do the installs and the permits and all the things yourself, good luck, okay? It's a whole nother industry. It's not the same as construction. I have a full restoration side of my company. I do interior rebuilds. I do exterior projects. Solar all the way down to, like, what the hell does EPC mean, right? It's all foreign to us. This is all different stuff. There's permitting involved that we're not familiar with. There's net metering programs. There's different government incentives and utility incentives. And there's just like this whole other landmine of things to navigate, okay? So you have a couple choices. You can take on that black forest and find a mentor or something that knows solar like the back of their hand, because that's going to be a painful, expensive way to go. And that's just my opinion. Sorry, it just is my opinion. Plugging in with an EPC partner individually, you're married to them. Okay, so you can go direct to Titan. You can go direct to Palmetto. You can go direct, there's a handful of them out there. You can go direct to Solar City. And every single one of them offers, if you go to their website right now and go to Titan, they're going to offer you that you can sign up as a dealer and you can be a sales organization, and they'll establish a red line and they'll fulfill your contracts. Now, my experience so far has been, I was going to try to be married to Titan, and then the day came when I was like, nah, I'm not really sure if in my market, this is the best solution. And so what I love about plugging into SVG is I have access to multiple different EPC partners. When I start saying, hey, you know what, Mr. EPC partner number one, I don't really like the way that you're dealing with my customers. I'm not having to reinvent the wheel. I'm not having to go sign on with anybody else. I literally say, hey, Bruce, Fahad, I don't like that one. What's the other options in my market? And they're plugged into multiple EPC partners. And just to be transparent with y'all, whenever I first went to them and said, hey, I'm unhappy with my EPC partner, they were so open. We have that great relationship that I was sharing with y'all that I actually helped onboard to SVG Solar, a couple of EPC partners. And I mean, it's SVG is kind of the middleman. I could have went straight to the EPC partner that I wanted to work with, but I didn't. I plugged in the EPC partner with SVG Solar, and I'm going to share with y'all why I did that as well. But I want you guys to know that when we plug into SVG Solar, we're not married to one EPC partner. We have freedom in saying, you know what, I'm really not liking the way that that one's going. I'm going to change directions. And I feel like these people, and not that there's anything wrong with this guy, right? But this guy's just better. This company is better for my market, for my customers, for my unique business. You're going to have a little bit more freedom to have more control over that and not have to like unplug and plug in and then get mad at this one and unplug and plug in. You're joining an industry, you're joining a network, I have to say also about SVG, of other contractors that are all doing the same thing. And I'm actually speaking at their solar boot camp. SVG has a solar boot camp April 1st and 2nd. And I'm speaking at that one, and there's going to be 150 contractors, roofing contractors that come there, and we're going to be teaching them how to sell solar, how to plug in solar to their business. And then we're gonna like all eat together and have a great time and talk about how hard it is to do the things that we do and all, you know, it's fun to plug into a network and to be able to do this alongside other people and not feel like you're alone swimming in an unknown ocean. This is a fun way to do it, while also a productive way to do it, because you're establishing that multi-EPC partner presence with one. So the financing, Jason, that's a great question. He said, does the financing go through SVG? Our financing partners are Sun Financing and then Goodleap, and that's actually going to be all built into your proposal tool through the EPC partners. So another really cool thing, the proposal tool with the financing that's plugged into it, the solar, I wish we had something like this for roofing, because the solar proposals through Solo are so beautiful. Like they walk the customer through exactly what's going to happen, exactly their benefits. To be able to just go through this beautiful proposal that shows the homeowner everything from their energy escalation cost to what is their solar payment going to be versus what is their electric going to be, what is their tax credit going to be, down to just being able to click in the software and getting them approved on the spot, right? For the financing for the solar is all done through Solo. So it's a really seamless process for the homeowner to just be able to go, well, you know, Ms. Jones, if this looks good to you, can we just move forward and see if we can get you qualified today? That way we'll start site inspection. Nothing's final until site inspection. So today it's just going to be a soft pull on your credit. We're just going to make sure that we can get you qualified for this system. And if so, we're going to send the team out, do the site inspection, and we'll start the final design. You'll sign off on the final design and we'll pull the hard financing at that time. We're just going to go ahead and get the ball moving down the court. The financing is instantly plugged into the Solo. The Solo software costs you $0. Another thing I love, I don't know about y'all, but I'm over here paying $4,500 a month for AccuLinks. And I'm not grapping because I love AccuLinks, but it's expensive, right? Our softwares, our CRMs are expensive. The EPC partners just give us Solo. Here's your Solo login, rock and roll, girl. And I'm like, what? And y'all are going to do the permits and install the panels and carry a 25-year warranty? I'm not even carrying the warranty. So when I get paid, it's profit. It's not even, oh, I don't even carry a warranty on the profit, right? So there's just all these fun things. Now, we just talked about we could go direct to EPC. Let me tell you why you don't want to do that again. Another reason why, remember I could, and I have a great relationship with the guys at KF Solar here too. They take me out to lunch. They think I'm fun. They would literally help me with anything that they could help me with, and I believe that for 100% certainty. The reason I don't go, hey, I'm going to cut out SVG. One, I would get the same red line either way with less options. Okay, if you go direct to Titan, they're going to give you the same red line as if you go to SVG. You're going to start off the same. You're going to lower your red line by pumping volume. They've already lowered my red line to 2.2. I've been pumping some volume in solar. They're like, okay, you're doing volume. We're going to bring your job, your job cost down. That's a great question. Let me jump over to that in just a second, Jason, about windows. Don't let me forget that. Well, I lost my train of thought, so I guess I'll jump over to that right now. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Let me finish that thought on SVG. So not only am I going to have less options, right, if I went direct to EPC, which would be fine, but there's also the sales support side of this. So I have 23 salespeople, and none of them were trained in solar when we started this. I'm just like, hey guys, we're going to start selling solar. This is going to be so cool. And they had no idea how to sell solar. Well, neither do I, right? Because I was new too. Now I can sell solar and I can close solar, but it takes a couple months to get acclimated with what you're doing. So the sales support still, through SVG, we book our closing appointments. Like I said, they're all done on Zoom. We screen share with the homeowner to show them the proposal. They say yay or nay. We click them to get qualified. SVG actually has a team member that gets on the close with every one of my sales reps and closes that solar deal literally for them. And they hear it, okay? So for example, Bruce is my fave and he knows it over there. So there's no secrets that Bruce is my favorite. But I'm like, hey, Miss Jones, I actually want to introduce you to Bruce. He's the president of our solar division. And this guy has been crushing the solar industry for 8 years. He knows everything that there is to know about solar. So I'm super excited that he had time to get on the call with us today, because if there's any questions that you have that I can't answer, he absolutely can. And then Bruce just takes it over. And the next thing I know, we're like signing deals. And I literally just sat here and I'm like drinking my pina colada off the camera every few minutes. I'm kidding, but I was doing that one time. And he's just closing deals for and with me. And I'm becoming acclimated to how he's doing it. How is he navigating this proposal? But I'm making commission while I'm learning these things because he's literally doing it and I'm listening to it, right? So I love that about the guys at SVG is that they're pouring into knowledge. They also have a video training program that you can purchase. That's the only thing that it costs me to get into the network. It's the only thing that it costs me to plug into the program, like upfront cost. Again, I know contractors like me, we're used to being able to say, hey, it's going to cost me $100 million to get started in this, and then maybe I'll make a return in a year or something. I have to buy the shingles, I have to pay the crews, and eventually the insurance company will pay me the depreciation and supplements. Like, I'm just always used to having to be leveraged out to make money, that it's honestly just blowing my mind how easy it was to plug into the system. I think I paid a couple $1,000s. I want to say it was like under $3,000 for the year for the solar training through SVG, so that my reps can actually log on and go through the training platform, because I don't know how to I can now, but I didn't know how to teach them. I don't want to have to take a lot of my time. I'm sure like many of you out there, I'm busy. We're running companies. And so to have me to learn solar, have to learn how to train solar, door knock solar, close solar, I was like, oh, $3,000, I can make that back in half of one solar deal. So that's cool for me. As long as I sell one solar deal, my investment is going to be made whole. And so I'm totally cool doing that. So I went ahead and I bought the solar video training modules because I already appreciate SVG. I learned a lot in insurance restoration through them. And I already have their storm restoration. So it was just an add-on to that, I believe. And, very cost-effective move. And then that plugs me straight into the program. And then I get access to their sales support as well as all the different EPC partners. Now, Jason asked just a second ago, how do we roll in the adders, right? So we're going to use the financing. And the hustle for some of y'all on this is you are selling solar, okay? But sometimes the solar is the difference in those people being able to afford those new windows or not, right? The solar financing, they only have to have, we actually have programs down to a 550 credit score now. But some of you guys, you would have had an air conditioner sale had the people just been able to have the money to pay for it, or you had a financing solution in place to pay for it. So for my homeowners, rolling in things like AC and windows has been a game changer. So for example, I did a proposal and I'm actually doing a solar deal for a homeowner. And whenever she sent me over her electric bill, the square footage of her house, her usage was really high for that square footage. I found out that she had broken windows, literally broken windows from hail that had not been replaced from an old storm, as well as like a 12 I don't even know, old AC unit that was going to be going out on her any day now, is the truth. I mean, in the Texas summer, you cannot afford to go without an AC. And she has a small child, and I know that there's no way that she would have been able to just, be able to produce this money whenever her AC went out. So I had that conversation with her. I'm like, girl, you're needing a lot of panels to offset your energy. I just want to ask a couple questions, right, about your window, your AC. So we went and did a full property inspection. And when we replace the windows and we replace the AC and we make the home more energy efficient, we now have to sell her less panels, right? So the solar system got smaller, and we rolled in the other things to make the home more energy efficient so that we weren't selling her panels that she didn't need. And I found the best solution for that homeowner. Now she's not, I could have just sold her a bunch of panels she didn't need. SOL on your windows and your AC, girl, figure that out later yourself. But instead, I wanted to remove a problem in advance that she will no longer have and do the best thing for the homeowner. So we did roll in a new window and AC. We lowered the offset on the panels and made it work out for her that way. So the way that we do that is it's so easy. It's so easy, it's stupid, to be honest with you. I'm used to dealing with insurance companies, which I've said a million times. They want all this documentation, just line items and photographs and just all the things. To roll in an invoice with solar, you literally make an invoice. 32 square roof, deductible, $5,000. New windows, 12 windows, this size at my bid is $20,000, okay? You go over on your solo proposal tool, so the software they're gonna give you, you click a button, there's a place for adders, you click the adders, and then you just plug in your total invoice amount right there, okay? $20,000, the proposal is gonna update for you, show you what that monthly payment looks like for the homeowner. If we put $20,000 and we roll it into their loan, it's gonna show them transparently what those numbers change to, and they're gonna be able to see, oh, okay, so I saved $15 on my electric bill a month, my solar payment is $15 less, my window payment now added 30 bucks. So I'm gonna no longer have an electric bill, and for $15 a month, I now have solar panels and brand new windows. 15 bucks a month is their actual cost difference in their monthly cash flow for themselves personally. The only thing we do is plug the adder in, and then as soon as the work is done on that, okay, so you will be floating out some of your construction projects for just a second, but not like 3 to 6 months like sometimes we do in insurance land. So whenever I finish that job, I send in my invoice to the EPC partner, and they pay us out the following week on that project. So I re-roofed a roof last week. I sent in my invoice. Let's see, we finished it the Wednesday before last. So SVG got the invoice on Friday. I was paid the following Friday for the roof and the insulation and the windows that we rolled into that deal. So that's what that pay schedule looks like. And then if y'all have any other questions, I definitely am open to make sure that I get y'all. I know this is just a lot of information. It's just a lot of information at one time. I have a couple other topics that I want to hit on. If you have any questions in the meantime, though, just throw it in the chat. Another thing for roofing company owners out there specifically right now that I want you guys to realize and understand, if you are building and growing a sales team, is think about this in the aspect of recruiting, okay? So in sales, I think that we can all agree that a high ticket commission item for sales is very lucrative. And if you're gonna sell anything, roofing or solar right now are kind of the two things where people are like, oh man, I can just make a ton of money if I'm selling roofing or solar. So how cool is it that at RKG, you can actually sell both? One of the questions that I get from people are you splitting up your solar sales team and your roofing sales team? And the answer is that I'm not. I am allowing, because not a lot of training. Honestly, you need to get an electric bill and plug in a proposal. SVG will close the deal. The EPC partner is going to handle the installation. Like, there's not really a lot that you can mess up here as a sales rep. So I am calling it a profit commission sandwich for them, because a lot of times we are rolling things in. So if somebody's interested in solar and their roof is totaled, they can't get solar without getting a new roof. That's 2 sales to that rep, right? If they want a new roof, but they can't afford a deductible, or their insurance company only covered one slope, but they want to finance the rest of the roof and make it a seamless system, we're rolling in the roof with the solar. So again, that rep has 2 sales. how I am paying my salespeople, because I'm also getting this question a lot. I am paying them exactly like they're used to being paid on a profit split plan in roofing. So we're doing 10, 50, 50, 10 off for overhead, 50, 50 profit split down the middle. So if we had a $6,000 commission or a $6,000 profit, I'm going to take $600 out for paying for the videos and the marketing and all those kinds of things out as overhead, which is going to leave us with $5,400, and we're going to split that in half with the rep. So what you're seeing there is that a lot of times they can actually make just as much money, sometimes more money, selling a solar deal than they did the roof project. But at the end of the day, they sat down with one customer at one kitchen table, and they were able to acquire 2 commissions by doing that. And that's something that I'm using in my recruiting ads. And as I'm having conversations with new people coming into my ecosystem, into my organization. And I just interviewed a guy the day before yesterday that came in and said, man, I'm good to sell roofs. I think roofs are great. I think it's really interesting that we have so many storms in DFW and the insurance company pays for it. But I'm really interested in solar. I'm really into green energy. And that's the thing, you know, for also contractors, sometimes people feel like, well, I don't really care about green energy, but there are some of your customers do, is the truth. Some of the customers do really care about the environment and do care about putting their part into that. And so do salespeople. They want to be making a difference. They want to be doing something that they know is good for the environment. And that's truthfully where all this really comes back together for me. And the reason why I decided to add solar to my business is because it's good for everybody, right? It's good for the environment. If it's good for the homeowner, it's great for the homeowner. They have this beautiful tax credit that so many of them are utilizing. I mean, anywhere from $9,000 to $40,000 off of their tax liability at a time is huge for so many people. As well as the equity that it adds to the home. Being able to own their own electricity and not having to depend, you're still plugged in to the grid, right? It's illegal to disconnect from the grid, but you're utilizing your own energy. And so the sun power is just coming in through the panel. The micro inverters are sending it down to an inverter that gets mounted on the side of the house. That's transferring into the meter, and it's powering the home straight from the sun. It's a very simplistic way to be able to power up a home, to where with traditional utility companies, there's poles, there's wires, there's transformers on the side of the poles that blow up all the time, and there's wires that need maintenance, and there's oil that has to be extracted. There's so many moving pieces and things that can go wrong. And in Texas, we felt that in February. And it was, I mean, multiple people lost their lives over that, right? Multiple people lost their lives over that. And I played superhero for a month, putting people, well, I say a month, we've been putting people back together since February freeze last year, but specifically even the week that it happened, running around and literally evacuating my family members from frozen iced homes that were soaking wet in under 20-degree weather. So it was traumatic for a lot of people in Texas, and people are starting to see that. They're like, oh, well, if the grid's not maintained very well, I may be in a little bit of trouble. And so it's starting to push people more into green energy and being self-sustaining more than anything. We're also able to roll in generators, which is huge in Texas right now too, because of that. So that's another thing that they're able to roll into the loan and know that worst case scenario, their home is plugged into a generator that's plugged into natural gas, or it can be ran with diesel, and that's going to continue to power your house if the grid goes down as well. So that's some things that we're seeing people just absolutely loving about it. So for me, it comes down to, it's great for the homeowner, it's great for the environment, it's great for my company, and it's great for my sales reps. That means that it's a win for me. And that's why whenever I saw it and I saw everything outlined, and there are going to be learning curves, right? There's going to be the coming over the mountain when she comes thing that we all have in business, but you guys are entrepreneurs and that's what y'all do, right? I mean, you take risk, you make moves, that's why you're in business. And this is one of those where it's not going to suck like starting your company the first time did, even though it feels like that's what you're doing. It's like, I don't really know anything about solar. You just have to take this little bit of leap of faith and plug into it if you want the opportunity. I mean, we're going to be seeing, I'm correlating solar to the Ring doorbell, okay? 5 or 6 years ago, you saw a Ring doorbell here and there. It was kind of weird, kind of ugly on the front door, right? People are kind of like, I don't really know how I feel about the Ring doorbell. It's kind of weird. But now every single home in America has a Ring doorbell. It's very normal. I really truly believe that we're going to start seeing that with solar power. Is that right now you do hear people go, I don't really know what I think about solar. It's going to become so normalized over the next 5 years. And for me, I just want to be on that train. I want to be embracing that opportunity. The last couple of years for everybody has been absolutely crazy, right? We've been navigating pandemics and there's war going on and there's all these things. But anytime there's volatility in a market, there's also opportunity to be had. And it's important for entrepreneurs to pivot with the market, to see solutions where there are solutions, and to take the responsibility to plug in those opportunities and those solutions into our companies as they make sense, which is why I agreed to come do this webinar and share with you guys, because I'm very passionate about small business being the heartbeat of the American dream. And I do believe that us as entrepreneurs have a responsibility to middle-class America to pivot and keep it alive right now. Otherwise, corporate America is coming for us. And so it's why I chose to plug solar in. I want to be innovative. I want to be responding to the market and plugging into opportunities as I see fit. I personally did see fit with solar. So the last thing that I want to touch on super quick, because it's another question that I get very commonly around my solar venture as people are kind of watching what I'm doing on social media with it and stuff like that, is also around marketing. So there are 2 companies that I use for marketing, and all in for my entire marketing budget, I'm in that at $2,000 a month. My digital marketing company that I'm using, I had a solar lead come in because we have started door knocking. So I do have door knockers, right? So they go out, and before, if a roof I took them to the field to take them door knocking 3 weeks ago. And typically, if the roof doesn't have damage, we didn't have anything to sell. And I found us falling into that habit where they came back and told me like 5 roofs didn't have any damage. And I don't know what I was thinking, but all of a sudden light bulb went off and I was like, oh, those people qualify for solar. We don't have to skip the new roofs anymore. We can door knock them too. They qualify for solar. They do not qualify for a roof replacement. They do qualify for solar. And we went back and told them that. I'm like, we can't leave. We have to go back and tell them that they have a good roof for solar. And we ended up doing 2 solar proposals. So we are starting to door knock for solar, but we're learning that. You know, I've been door knocking for roof inspections for years. That's just kind of my lingo. So to get started, it was important to me to get some marketing going, just because I knew that if I had some leads coming in, those people are at least interested in solar. And if I'm knocking on their door, I'm convincing them to be interested in solar. And I just didn't feel comfortable to go 100 there yet, but I definitely wanted to start getting some deals. And I didn't want those customers to be my practice ones. Don't get me wrong. I had a good team behind me, right? I was backed by a great EPC partner. I'm backed by SVG. I can't really screw anything up here, so we're all safe. But I needed to start getting some experience underneath my belt. And so I wanted to, and I did start doing some marketing for solar, utilizing 2 of my favorite marketing companies that I use for RKG. The digital marketing company is called Lead Revenue. And again, I think Madeline said they're going to send out an email that has my contact information in it. So
yes, and we will be sending your Yahoo Finance article as well, a link to that.
Oh, okay, great. So if you guys want information on either one of these companies, also just get with me after the webinar. I will introduce you to the person that you need to be introduced to get plugged in. But for me, that was just a huge deal to start getting some digital marketing out and about. So Lead Revenue does my website design, website management. They have a live chat feature, an overflow call feature, as well as social media, Google My Business. So Google My Business is the big play because it's organic traction in the map ads of Google, okay? So up here, you have your local service ads, then you have your Google AdWords, then you have maps. Well, the market is starting to understand that this is a pay-to-play space. And even you, if you're Googling something, pay attention next time you're looking for a restaurant near you, or a roofer near you, or an HVAC company near. What is your average person doing, man? They're going to Google on their phone. HVAC company, Google, boom, comes up and they're like, scroll past the ads, map. On the map ads, there's actually a little place where they can just hit call and call your business immediately, because that's the easiest thing for consumers to do. That's what consumers do. So the most important place for you to show up on Google for solar, when somebody's Googling, oh, I'm interested in solar company. You got to be in the map ads, okay? So for $1,000 a month, there's automated reviews. They're posting images to my Google My Business, and they're writing blogs for my business multiple times a week, because that's what Google wants to see in consistency. Google has an algorithm just like Facebook does. And what they want to see there is not only great reviews that your customers love you, but also consistent reviews showing that your customers love you all the time, right? You weren't a successful business 12 months ago. You're a successful business and you're relevant today. The images also tell Google that. If you go look at my company on Google, I have probably 300 images of my team, of my jobs, of all that stuff. I don't put all that stuff there because time, right? We're juggling a lot as an entrepreneur. So $1,000 a month, they're handling all this stuff for me. They go in and we put our images, my receptionist throws our images into a Google Drive, and they're able to our account manager just grabs it out of our Google Drive and puts it in all the places for us, Google My Business being one of them, and then automating the reviews. And then they have on the side of Google My Business, it's almost like I have my own little mini website right there. They can scroll through my services, they can see about my company, they can visit the website, but they don't need to because they can already see images and reviews and all these things without ever even leaving my Google My Business page. So no, the name of the digital marketing company is called Lead Revenue. And if you want to slide into Lead Revenue, go ahead and contact me after the webinar, because the $1,000 a month is, you have to come in through my network to get that. Usually it's $2,500. And that $1,000 a month that they're doing for my network is actually ending on the 31st of March. And then the price is going to be going up. So if you want to lock in the $1,000 a month, that's what I pay. But I am on their board of advisors. Madeline said that she's going to share my Yahoo Finance article. So this is the company that I'm on the board of advisors for, $250 million marketing company. But my board role and my own company for RKG are separate. I do pay $1,000 a month for the service as a customer, just like everybody else does. And it's so great because that's how I got my first solar lead, is my point. I was paying $1,000 a month. I got my first solar lead, and the profit on that deal was $8,000. So I was really happy with it because I'm only paying $1,000 a month for the service, and I got in a lead that was $8,000. The other company, and again, if you guys want to come in, I do some speaking stuff and stuff around the industry. I really honestly think, because I'm open and transparent, hopefully you guys can see that. And I think people trust me to come give good information, and I'm really thankful to have gotten that platform. There's a few perks along with it too. One, I get some special pricing from people sometimes and some free stuff from people sometimes. And Dope Marketing is the direct mail company that I'm using to market solar. And he told me that actually just yesterday, that anybody that comes in from Dope Marketing for direct mail through my network, he's going to give the first 100 postcards that you send out for free. So that's pretty cool. Larissa just asked, do you have to have a completely different Google My Business for solar? So I'm just changing my branding from roofing and construction to roofing and solar. Even though I do have a restoration division in my company, that side of my company is honestly just busier than I can even handle it being. Most of the time, I'm actually declining work on that side because we're just at capacity, and working on scaling that for that not to be the case, but we have to grow smart. So I'm just not doing a lot of marketing around that. So for me personally, it's RKG Roofing and Solar, and we are just adding that as a service to our current Google My Business. So what I'm talking about with Lead Revenue, the same $1,000 a month is marketing my roofing and my solar. And when you go to my website, I mean, it is listed on our services that we also do restorations. I'm just not keywording that a lot. Because another thing that Lead Revenue is doing is advanced SEOs. So because I do some consulting with some other roofing contractors, one of the other lady CEOs in the industry, I was working with her, just told me she's paying $1,250 a month just for SEO services, right? So I was like, dang, I'm paying that for the website management and the Google My Business management, social media, a live chat, a call agent. I'm like, girl, $1,000 a month, which is special pricing coming in through my network, which I do appreciate them doing for us, because contractors are used to being overcharged for marketing. I mean, people know what our profit margins are all on our deals sometimes, and sometimes we get a little bit overcharged. I mean, I say overcharged, I guess it's whatever the value is there, right? But I really appreciate them offering contractors a discount for coming in. And and utilizing the service. And then for direct mail, Dope Marketing has automated the game when it comes to direct mail. The postcards are quality. They have an online dashboard called Dope 360. I actually have that plugged into my CRM. So anytime that I do a roofing or solar project and I move it to approved in AccuLinks, I have my Dope 360 plugged into my AccuLinks through Zapier. If y'all are familiar with Zapier, it just plugs softwares in together. And anytime I hit approved in AccuLinks, it just automatically mails the neighbors a postcard that tells them that I am doing a roofing or solar project in their neighborhood. And it can specify what type of project is what card we're going to send out. So if it's a solar project, it'll send a solar card. If it's a roofing project, it'll send a roofing card. As well as Dope Marketing also has a pixel that's plugged into my website. So Lead Revenue built my website. They plugged in my Dope Marketing pixel. So when somebody's cruising around on my website, back to the phone thing, right? Whenever I walked into my house, my phone automatically connected with my Wi-Fi. I'm sure all y'all's does that. This pixel can find my address. If they're sitting here cruising around RKG, my pixel finds their address and automatically mails them a postcard. I hope this doesn't offend anybody. Y'all get used to me at some point, but I call this, we have a meeting with Jesus. Okay. That's what the homeowner thinks. They're like, because they get this postcard and they're like, I was just on these people's website, but they didn't put in any information. They didn't give us anything. They're just on the website. And then all of a sudden, it's kind of like the Facebook pixel. You know, why do you think every time you say something out loud, you all of a sudden have all these ads and stuff? Y'all notice that? Those are pixels. That's how that works, right? It's code that's tracking you. It's literally tracking your behavior, and softwares following you around. That's going to happen if you use a smartphone, whether you like it or not. So you might as well be making some money off of it, is my thought. If people are going to track me with their pixels, I'm going to track them with my pixel too. So if you go look at solar on my website, we're going to hit you with a solar postcard. On the solar postcard, I'm going to have a QR code and I'm going to scan it. I'm going to send you back to another landing page, right? We're always asking what's next, what's next, what's next. But for me, between Lead Revenue with my digital marketing and then Dope Marketing for my direct mail and automating it like that, I can go in and send out campaigns, neighborhood campaigns. I can set up automatic drip campaigns through Dope 360. And I do that, like we got a hailstorm last night. So you better believe I was in there, neighborhood campaign. But usually I just let all this stuff happen behind me because as an entrepreneur, I'm busy. And if Lead Revenue will handle all that for me for $1,000 a month, and then I also pay $1,000 a month for Dope Marketing because I'm on their top package, but they have like $250, $500 a month, and then $1,000 a month, I think. And you buy a package through them and you get a certain amount of postcards per package. Name drop me, you'll get 100 more for free, your first 100 for free. And then you can decide if you want to blast those out in neighborhood campaigns, if you want to use those on a website pixel, or you want to use those through automation through your CRM. I'm like, this changes the game in digital marketing. It used to be super old school. And I'm loving the way that this just streamlines my marketing all encompassing for $1,000 a month. And it started generating these solar deals to close so that I can actually get my feet wet in the industry so that when I'm out knocking doors, I feel a little bit more confident in it. So I definitely wanted to share, both of those things with y'all as well. And I'm trying to think if I left anything out. Was that a lot?
You have completely blown my mind. I have learned so much in this presentation.
Okay, good.
From the
And
chat box,
it
seems like everyone's on the same page with that. I actually have a question for you.
Okay.
Pretty much everyone on this webinar is a contractor of some kind. And I was just wondering, what is the first step that a contractor should do if they wanted to implement solar in their business and they're not really sure where to start?
I would 1000% either come to an SVG event, or there are other ones out there that's kind of, I want to say copycat and SVG right now too. So whether it's SVG or someone else that's doing something similar to them, come to a boot camp. We do have one in Arizona, April 1st and 2nd, or get on a call with them and tell them that you saw this webinar and, Kimba told you that you should probably talk to Fahad about going solar. I'll also connect those dots. That's really the best thing to do though, is to just sit down with them and have the conversation. They will get on a Zoom call with you, Larissa, if you can't. I mean, everybody can't take a weekend to fly to Arizona, which I get. I do think that you'll even make that investment back in one sale, right? And there's just something different about being in the room, in an energy of the live training, and being able to, I don't know, I'm an in-person. I love webinars, of course, here we are, and I'm grateful for this, but I think that and I've been to 5 solar boot camps that SBG's thrown already, 5, and I take something away every time. 2, this will be the second one that they've asked me to speak at. The first 3, I literally just did go to learn. So that would be my suggestion to, I mean, that's exactly what I did. It's not just my suggestion, it's what I did, is to get on a call with them if that's what you can do. Come to an event if you can come to an event, and just really take it all in. And take it all in around people that are coming from the same place that you're in right now, that want to add solar, that see the opportunity for solar, but just don't know anything about it. Because if you start trying to learn in a network of solar people, you'll feel silly really fast. And so that was, now that I'm making more friends in the solar industry, just because there's no shame in my game, I'll stop them and say, for example, right, I'm sorry, I don't know what EPC means. Can somebody Google that and put it, Google that and put it in the chat for us, please? We don't know what that is. I have no problem being like, what's an H-frame and why do we do that? What do we need that for? And so I have no problem asking the questions, but what I'm loving about doing it with the roofing community is that there's no dumb questions at our events, because I couldn't even tell y'all what APC was. You know, I mean, it's okay to ask whatever you want, because everybody knows that you're a roofer and you're learning solar. And so I just love doing it kind of with like-minded people in the same place that I'm in.
Perfect. If anyone else has any questions for Kimba, please put those in the chat box so we can get them answered. But I wanted to just say thank you so much, Kimba. This presentation has been absolutely amazing. Looks like a question came in. The name of the marketing company used Bundle CEO, social media, and such.
Yep, that was lead revenue. It's called lead revenue. And I will, Matt, are you going to send them out an email that gives them my email and then they can shoot me an email, or what's the best way for them to
contact? After this webinar, there'll be an email that gets sent out with your email address, a video recording of this webinar, actually. So if they wanted to share it or rewatch it, they have the ability to do so, as well as your Yahoo Finance article link, and then as well as a survey for their free t-shirt, so we can get their sizing and their mailing address. You know, that's important.
I love that. So when you get my email, if you want any information, if you want an introduction into SBG, if you want an introduction into lead revenue so that you get the $1,000 a month price point, or if you want the link to get connected with Dope Marketing, just send me an email, tell me which one you want, or you want all 3. I will respond back to that email with the information that you're requesting at that time. No, happy to do so. It's all been really great for my business, so absolutely do not mind sharing at all whatsoever. In fact, they're all my friends by now, you know? So I love doing business with people I love. It's my favorite thing to do.
That's the best way to do it. You got to build those relationships, make them strong. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when you're having fun doing business, you just really never have a bad day, no matter what happens. So that's what's so great. Okay, and David said he would like them all. He shared his email. You may have to shoot me an email after the webinar, David, just so I can reply back to it. But I will take some time. Maybe not this afternoon, because I am going to go take my kiddos to Six Flags. We're on spring break, but by Friday, I'll have all that information over to before Friday. What are we on right now? Wednesday?
Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday?
It's Tuesday.
I had a hailstorm, and if you have a hailstorm and you got to go work a hailstorm, it feels like 4 days in a row. You're up all night, tracking storms, doing all the things. And y'all are very welcome. I really appreciate you guys for joining us on this today. It's always, and unfortunately, I can't see y'all's faces on the webinar. So I do want to also invite you guys, please, please, please add me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram, but Facebook is really, guys, I show up to Facebook every single day. I put out a ton of content about marketing, about business, about mindset. I'm super passionate about what I do. And I don't really like speaking at people. That's the only thing on the webinars, is that I do kind of feel like I love talking with people though. I love whenever I can see your face back. So I absolutely love getting connected to other contractors on social media, just because we can kind of have that two-way relationship. And now if you come to the solar boot camp, I'm like, what's up, David? What's up, Larissa? I actually know you guys back. And so, and there's not a lot of Kimbas. You don't even have to remember my last name. You know what I mean? Just type Kimba into Facebook and there's going to be 3 of us. And I'm the one that looks like this. So add me. And if it won't let you add, sometimes I max out on the friends, or so you may have to hit follow or send me a message and tell me, hey, I was on the webinar, I'm trying to add you. I'll go send you a friend request if it won't let you, because sometimes it does that. Silently but shy following. Girl, I'm gonna leave it with this. You cannot afford to be shy if you're an entrepreneur, okay? You have to be building relationships. And social media is a great place to be social, right? I tell people that all the time. It's a great place to be social. If you're gonna show up and you're gonna spend your time there, let people know who you are too, because it's, so many of you guys have so much to give the world, to be able to create content, and that stuff is powerful in today's times. It's also powerful for our business. I utilize what I do on social media to recruit, team build, generate leads, build vendor partnerships, referral partnerships. Like, social media pays me back for the time that I put into it tenfold all the time. And anyway, but y'all see how much I do on there if you go add me, because I literally show up on Facebook every single day, and am engaging back and forth with people. So thanks, David. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some friend requests from you guys and to be able to connect there as well. And then, feel free to shoot me a message on Facebook as well. If you think of questions and you want to shoot me a message on there, I'm very responsive on Facebook Messenger as well. So feel free.
Yeah, you guys will definitely have to make sure to give Kimba a follow. Thank you again, Kimba. This was a great presentation. Today's webinar is brought to you by Leap. Leap is a software sales that reduces errors and redundancies that slow down your sales process. Whether you're in roofing, windows, siding, flooring, kitchen and bath, or any other home service, you can use the power of Leap to make your customizable sales platform your own. With Leap, you can take documents, estimates, and brochures, personal checks, handwritten notes, and measurements, and put them all into one digital location. If you are interested in learning more about Leap, I'm going to post a launch. I'm going to launch a poll right now. You can just go ahead and give a click on that. I wanted to also let you know that here at Leap, we refer to ourselves as family. We care deeply about the matters that affect our employees, customers, partners, and the world. We're collecting donations through the month of March that are going to be divided against a few organizations that are helping Ukrainian refugees receive medical supplies, food, and shelter. In times like these, we come together to support one another and help. We are really proud here at Leap. Last week, we did a little wind down Wednesday, and we raised over $500, but we wanted to, offer this up for the GoFundMe link. I will be posting in the chat right now. And you can go ahead if you would like. You're more than welcome to donate. We would definitely appreciate that. All donations will be given directly to Ukraine. So thank you for answering that poll. And again, thank you, Kimba, so very much. It was so great to have you. And I will make sure to get everyone your information.
Thank you, ma'am. And I will talk to everyone soon.
Bye.
Bye.